Aaron, what is our second main topic today?
This is from John Superwise, who says, "Greetings. I am a huge Fantastic Four fan and would love to see John Krasinski continue playing the role of Reed Richards. However, in an interview with The Wrap, he says there haven't been any discussions about playing the role in the Fantastic Four movie, and he made it clear that him in the Multiverse of Madness was a one-time deal. Either he's really telling the truth or he's following in the footsteps of other MCU actors and has to lie about his involvement. I'm hoping it's the second. Thoughts on this? And thanks."
All right, thanks a lot for sending that in. And, I don't know that there's been many bigger fan casting wishes than John Krasinski as Reed Richards. I mean, going back to the days of the original X-Men, Patrick Stewart was the de facto fan choice to play it long before he did. Maybe Pierce Brosnan, long before he played James Bond. There was a big fan movement to have Pierce Brosnan as James Bond. That one was just a no-brainer to get that one done. But a lot of people have been wanting to see John Krasinski as Reed Richards. And of course, we got a little bit of that in Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness, just made people want more. But then we heard, I think it was Sam Raimi, who kind of suggested during the aftermath of Doctor Strange that was John Krasinski showing up there was meant as a one-shot thing. It was just meant as a one-shot thing because the fans had asked for it. And it's like, you know what? We're going to have other plans, but let's give them at least a little something of it. Yeah. And, I am not an ex-actor, an ex-role thing, but I would love to see John Krasinski as Reed Richards, but I'm totally okay if it's not him. There's many other actors who could be just as good, if not better. So I'm totally okay with it. But the question is still hung in the air. But according to John Krasinski, there ain't any question anymore. This is what John Krasinski had to say when asked about it. He said this: "There aren't any discussions at all." Asking about if there have been any discussions with him to play Reed Richards again. There aren't any discussions at all. The only discussion I had was actually in the second to last week of Jack Ryan. Kevin Feige called and said, "Would you ever fly to LA and play in our sandbox for a day?" I was honored to do it. I flew right out from Budapest when we wrapped and went right to the Doctor Strange set. I'm a big fan of all those characters and that world, so to get to play in the sandbox for one day was a real thrill, and that comes from John Krasinski. All right. Now, as the viewer pointed out, we have heard, Andrew Garfield deny from head to toe that he was going to be in the Spider-Man film, which of course he was. There have also been one or two other instances of somebody saying they weren't going to be in the movie, and they weren't. So as fans, we like to point to those and say, that's the pattern. But the reality is about 97 times out of 100, when somebody says, "I'm not in something," they're not in something. And I don't know why it is, but I really do believe him here. There doesn't seem to be anything even remotely suggesting that it would be otherwise. I mean, because the cat's already out of the bag per se, right? Like, you had him in Doctor Strange. There's no reason to keep his involvement as Mr. Fantastic now under wrap. You did it. There he is. There's no need to keep it secret. There's no more surprise to it. So this kind of goes right along with what Sam Raimi said before, that they told him it was a one and done. I believe him, it's a one and done. I think there are going to be some fans that hear this and are disappointed that it's a one and done. And I get that. As long as we don't become stupid and go, well, then nobody can play Reed Richards. Yeah.
I'm done with the MCU. I'm not going to go see any of their more movies.
Yeah, it's the one I want to play.
I bet Reed Richards is going to be a woman.
There you go.
Of color.
Man, oh man.
So, as long as we understand, I'm a little bit disappointed. I would have gotten a kick out of seeing him continue to play that, but I understand that there are a lot of great actors out there who can step in and do a great job, maybe even better than John Krasinski would have done. And so I'm okay with it. And the big question is, do we believe him? I don't even remotely not believe him, to be honest with you. Now, Chris, you're mad at the world and you don't believe anything anybody says.
I'm the happiest person in this ding dang room.
You don't believe anything anybody says.
That is true. I don't trust anyone.
What do you think about Krasinski's comments here?
I don't trust you, John. That being said, though, it would make sense if he wasn't moving forward in this role. We've heard from other actors talking about how they did feel slightly creatively stifled just because they couldn't say yes to other projects. John Krasinski is a director and writer as well, so I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that he wants to do, and he did get to step into the suit and be Reed for a day. Now, that being said, I think that he does a great job in this role. I would love for him to continue. Would I also like Rahul Kohli doing this role? Yes, I would. I think he would be great at this. But I don't believe anyone till I see the finished product these days.
Guys, we want to thank a sponsor of this video, Mint Mobile. This holiday season, the best deal in wireless can only be found at Mint Mobile. Right now, when you switch to Mint Mobile and buy any 3-month plan, you get another 3 months for free. Mint Mobile lets you order and activate from home with eSIM, while saving tons on phone plans starting at just $15 a month. You guys know I've been using Mint Mobile long before this holiday deal, and I have to say it is the perfect time to switch. I have absolutely loved using Mint Mobile, and like I've told you guys many times, I am now spending less than 1/3 of what I used to spend under one of the other major mobile carriers. And now with the whole buy 3 months, get 3 months free deal, it's even better. All of their plans come with unlimited talk and text, plus high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and switch easily and effortlessly with eSIM. Or if you need a new device, for a limited time, get 6 months of free service when you buy a select device and plan. So guys, for a limited time, buy any 3-month Mint Mobile plan and get 3 more months for free by going to mintmobile.com/Campea. That's mintmobile.com/Campea. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/Campea. Rob, John Krasinski is saying, nope, I'm not Reed Richards anymore. Do you buy it? And are you okay with that if that's the case?
I do buy it, because the thing is, when you're casting the Fantastic Four, you're not just casting Reed. You're casting Sue, Johnny, and Ben Grimm. You know, and I think that you need an ensemble that works really well together. And by the way, I don't envy the cast. What's her name? Sarah, the casting.
Sarah Finn.
Sarah Finn.
She's brilliant.
She does such a wonderful job casting these characters, that these are characters that are going to have legacy. They're going to go on from film to film to film. And I think they're going to be casting them together. They're going to probably have to do, you know, when they put actors together and they do chemistry tests, this is going to be a 4-way chemistry test to make sure that they look great on screen. And I think that Krasinski is probably telling the truth in this one. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if he looks like the guy that can lead the Fantastic Four.
Can you bring that image up again, Jonathan, for a second there, the one you had of Krasinski up there?
I'll bring an image up.
To me, he doesn't just look like a guy who can lead the Fantastic Four. He looks like a guy who could lead the MCU.
Yes.
That's the thing about Krasinski, right? Like, he comes across to me as a guy, look at him. That guy could be the leader of the MCU, but I do
I
believe
will
him,
say this might be an unpopular opinion. I didn't think he was particularly good in Doctor Strange. I love him as Jack Ryan, and I think he's a great actor, but it makes sense. They asked him to come in for a day. They didn't give him enough to understand what character was he supposed to play. They didn't give him enough where he's not. We didn't know who or what Reed Richards was. We only had, because we know who the character is. So he wasn't given enough to play in the movie. And I really would love to see him get a shot at it, because I love him as Jack Ryan. I think he's great as Jack Ryan, because he brings this sort of winsome yet capable quality. And that's tough to do. And I think he could do the same thing with being the studious professorial guy, but also kind of be funnily naive in a Clark Kent sort of a way, maybe. Even though he's the smartest man in the world, he's not exactly a lady killer. So
he ends up with Sue Storm somehow.
Well, yeah, I know, but I think he could play that, because
You
Reed
stick
Richards.
around for the smart ones.
That's right. There you go. But I don't think he's going to be Reed.
Aaron, I mean, you've been on the show a lot when we've talked about John Krasinski maybe being Reed Richards and all that kind of stuff. He's now coming out, but he doesn't look like a superhero. He looks like the grown-up in the room, which is part of the reason why I think he looks like a great Reed Richards. Anyway, you've heard a lot of actors talk about what they're going to do, what they're not going to. Do you believe him or do you not believe him when he says that, nah, he's not Reed Richards moving forward?
You know what? Every time we've talked about this, I have been all about John Krasinski is Reed Richards. It doesn't matter what he says. He just can't announce it. I'm now, this most recent quote does have me questioning that a little bit, because at this point, with the movie slated to come out in 2025, if he were to do this, even if they hadn't necessarily cast everybody else in the movie, he would at least have to be able to clear his slate, because as Rob said, he's got a lot going on. He's a busy guy. He's got his schedule planned out for the next 5 years minimum. So he would have to be able, these conversations would have to happen. You can't just pop this and be like, hey, John, what are you doing in the next 3 months? Let's shoot a movie. You can't do that with this guy. He's got stuff going on. So this does disappoint me, only because I feel like he's already in our minds as Reed Richards, and everybody's already just come to accept that he is playing this role. And so unfortunately, whoever does get the role of Reed Richards, there's going to be comparisons of him to John Krasinski without John Krasinski ever saying that he was playing this role. The unfortunate comparisons are going to happen. So I hope that what happens is that, oh, look at that.
that was the fandom wet dream right
but
there
those
for
were
a
the
long
days of
time.
wine and roses.
Yeah.
But that's perfect casting.
But here's the thing. There's also a world now that this is brought up where there's not conversations with John, but maybe conversations are happening with Emily about her playing Sue Storm under the assumption that he'll just be part of the deal. And so maybe he's doing a little like word salad with us. I don't know. I really would love that to happen. But if it doesn't happen, and it sounds like it's not going to, I hope that they, as Rob said, do some great chemistry tests, find 4 people who really work well together, and then just announce them all at the same time so that we can get excited about that news and not have this whole, I didn't get the person that I wanted.
Yeah, and I think that's done. Like, if they're already doing the production art, they've got their people in mind, right? And Jodie Comer, I totally still believe is going to be Sue Storm. I mean, I can't say take that to the bank, but
It's great casting.
there have been a lot of whispers about the dude from You. I can't remember.
Penn Badgley?
Penn Badgley.
Yeah, which
he's
the more
great.
I watch clips of him, because whenever you start talking about it, I'm not a viewer of You. My wife Ann is, but I went and started watching a bunch of stuff. So I'm like, I could see him as Reed Richards.
If you watch him on his podcast, if you watch the visual form of that, then you go, oh yeah, this is a very, very smart
I've seen a
dude.
bunch of clips of the way he carries himself, the way his act, the way he does his stuff. I'm like, yeah, I could see this guy being Reed Richards. Then again, then the Johnny Storm and Ben Grimm, I have no idea where they're going to go, but who knows? But I think we're going to
Joe
find out
Keery
soon.
for Johnny Storm.
All right, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? John Krasinski is saying, I ain't Reed Richards, unfortunately, anymore, because I wasn't Doctor Strange, but that's it. Do you believe him? If so, are you disappointed? And even if so, can you see who as Reed Richards, if not John Krasinski? Whatever you guys are thinking right now, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts.